Hello, everybody. What's going on? If you can hear me, just put yes in the comments. I am back. Hey, hey, hey. Sorry, y'all, about the delay. Tech. The tech be teching. Okay. I'm pretty upset about my little audio situation, but hey, if y'all can hear me, that's all that counts. Y'all know me. I be trying to be super fancy, and here we are. So anyway, I didn't want to tell y'all all the stuff I did before this video, but nevertheless, here we are. So, are y'all ready for today's topic? Just put yes in the chat if you are ready. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. All right. So, give me one quick hot second, and then I'm going to introduce myself real quick, and then we're going to get into it. All right. Okay, cool. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Audria Richmond. I'm a marketing and launch strategist. I work directly with my clients to teach them how to build uncloned brands and launch profitable marketing campaigns. We are the brand that you come to when you want to become or remain the obvious choice of your industry. So, today we're going to be talking about recurring revenue, and we're going to be talking about lessons I've learned after running 3 six-figure membership sites. So, if y'all ready, we're about to get into it. So I don't know if you all are part of our free Facebook group. If you are, just put a 1 in the chat. And this topic actually came up on that thread. So if you're not in our Facebook group, if you're not engaging in our free Facebook group, then you probably missed the opportunity to let me know the things you want to talk about. And pricing came up, membership sites came up like 2 or 3 times. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing today's topic. But I've had several people ask me about recurring revenue and membership sites specifically. And I know that a lot of people want to get in the membership game. And I will tell you, as a person who has run 3 membership sites, it's not as easy as you think. Okay. Especially if you don't currently have one. It may seem like this is going to be easy. All I'm going to do is create a portal, throw some stuff in there, and rolling in the dough, people going to come and join my thing. Right. And I'm just here to tell you, it ain't going to be that easy. I'm just letting you know right now, it's not going to be that easy. So if you're looking for the easy button, this is probably the product or service you do not want to create. And I'm going to also tell you that it's a lot of moving parts when it comes to a membership site. You got to think about the name of your membership site. You got to think about what you're going to include in your membership site. You have to think through what's going to be the milestones. What is why am I joining, basically? If I'm joining your membership site, what's going to be the outcome of me joining? And on top of that, why should I continue to pay you month after month after month? And that's probably the secret science to membership sites. It's like you have to have a reason for people to stay. If you don't have a reason for people to stay, then they're like, well, why should I be a part of this membership site? Why should I continue to pay? Are they continuously getting value? Are you going to be creating something that's worth people paying over and over and over? And oftentimes when people get into the membership game, they really underestimate what it takes to keep members happy. How many of us are like subscribed to a million subscription services? Me included, right? From entertainment, like your Netflix, your Hulu, your your HBO, your Cinemax, whatever you got, right? We all pay for a slew of things in the entertainment space. Then let's not even talk about business, right? You paying for your monthly CRM, you're paying for all of your automation tools, your landing page tools, your emails tools, your SMS tools. Like there's a ton of things that you're paying for on a recurring basis. And let's not even talk about home. We got our cell phone bill, our cable bill, you have your mortgage or your rent, whatever situation you got going on. You got your car note if you have a car with a car note. You got insurance. You got There's like a slew of recurring revenue things that we pay for. When people are deciding if they want to add you to the list of all the things I just said, it got to be worthwhile. If you got it, just got it in the chat. So today I want to talk about some lessons I've learned, because I think that if you can learn from lessons as opposed to getting into it and finding out that like, man, this ain't for me, I think that's when it's going to be a game changer for you. All right. So if you're watching this video from any other platform outside of YouTube, just know that we are primarily on YouTube. And if you leave a comment, based on the tool that I use, I'm able to see your comments, right? So we have 32 people that's watching live right now across all social media platforms. So even though there are some people on YouTube who may be watching, keep in mind that we do have an audience on Facebook and LinkedIn. Now, I do want to let you know that I really want you to come to my YouTube channel to watch this video. And so if you're watching it anywhere else outside of YouTube, make sure you come to YouTube. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Please. I mean, just saying, I would truly appreciate it. We are almost at 2,000 watch hours, which is great because I'm 1,000 hours away from being able to monetize a certain aspect of my channel. And then I'm 2,000 hours away from being able to monetize on YouTube in general. So we'll talk about YouTube another day and the reason behind it and why I'm prioritizing it on another video. If that's something y'all want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments. And so I'll definitely make that a topic. But nevertheless, let's talk about 4 things you need to know before starting a membership site. That's the first thing we're going to get into. And then the next thing we're going to get into is the benefits of having a membership site. And then we're going to get into the lessons. If that's a deal, just put deal in the comments. Also, share this video out. Share it with your community. Share it on your Facebook page. Share it in your stories. Just share the video out. The more people we can get to watch the video, the better, right? Okay, so 4 things to know before starting a membership site. Number 1, you need to know what you're going to be putting in your membership as a deliverable. So every single month, what are you giving your members, right? That's something that you really want to know. Like, what am I going to give my members? For us, inside the UnCloned, let me just say this. Let me give you a rule that, like, if you stick to this, you don't have to stick to this, but just after having 3 membership sites, we have learned the hard way that you do not want to overwhelm people. We're going to talk about that later on down in the lessons. But the first thing you need to be clear on, like, what are you giving people every single month? I recommend you give your people no more than 4 things. 4. That's the number. Okay? Do not give people more than 4. That rhymes. Yes. Do not give people more than 4. If you give them more than 4, they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. And let me just say this too. Some people are just naturally overwhelmed by work. Like some people just don't want to work and they're just naturally overwhelmed by every damn thing. It doesn't matter if you give them one thing with the video and hold their hand, they still going to be overwhelmed. It doesn't matter if you give them one thing, they still going to be overwhelmed. So some people are just naturally overwhelmed because they just don't want to work. But for the most part, I would say 4 deliverables is ideal, right? And one thing you want to keep in mind with one of those deliverables, you want to make sure that you have a community aspect to it, and you want to make sure that you have a live coaching aspect to it. If your membership site is related to teaching, coaching, and educating people. All right. So 4 things. All right. So the next thing, you must have clear milestone. Now, this is something I messed up with the first so with my first membership site, I jacked it up. It was kind of like it was good, but then I was trying to do too much, and then I had to subtract some things, and then before you know it, I was just like, let me just scratch the whole damn thing. So that was like my first membership experience. And then my second membership experience was it was community based, and that got boring to me. It wasn't boring to the people who signed up because they was getting a deal. It was probably the cheapest membership site I ever had. And so they liked that they were getting a deal. They liked that they could network and all of that. But to me, it was boring. I'm like, y'all ain't learning nothing. What the hell we doing? We just talking in this group. But anyway, they loved it. I didn't like it, so I closed that. And we had 500 members in that one. And then our current membership site, which is the UnCloned Launch Circle, I was crystal clear. When I say crystal clear, I was crystal clear when I started this membership site that there would be one focus, one goal, one primary milestone. And the milestone of the launch circle is to launch. That's the milestone. If you're launching, you're doing what the membership was intended for. I don't need you building a brand, learning how to publish, learning how to do, become a tech wizard and like all of this other crap. The only goal, the only milestone that I would see deemed as like, okay, people are following along with the intent of the membership is that people are launching. So you want to be clear around like, what is the clear milestone? It can't be something vague where they can just type that into YouTube and find it. It needs to be something so specific that like you are the only one that can like really answer the question for that. All right. All right. Number 4, have a systematic way. I really wanted to say predictable, so I'm going to say predictable and systematic. Have a systematic and predictable way to attract and retain clients. Okay. Have a predictable way and systematic way for attracting and retaining members inside your membership site. This is probably where most people fail when it comes to membership sites. How do I know? I have been a part of membership communities that, where I've learned how to really optimize my membership site through trial and error and experience. And I'm in a lot of these membership communities. And word on the street is a lot of people be like, I did my launch and I only got 2 members. Or I did my launch and I only got 4 members. I did my launch and I only had XYZ members. Oftentimes, when you don't hit your goal for your membership site, it's because your launch wasn't big enough. There wasn't enough noise. There wasn't enough anticipation, right? You can launch with a webinar. You can launch with, some social media posts. But when you start getting into the challenge world, the video, 3-part video series, anything where it got some meat on the bone, that's when you can really start to attract people. And the leeway. What are you doing to get people to know about your membership site? Let me give you an example. Organic marketing is cute, but paid marketing will help you hit your goals. But this thing, a lot of people don't want to spend the money. Okay, a lot of people don't want to spend the money. They're like, oh, I want a membership site with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of members. And then when it comes to spending the money to acquire and get clients and customers, they're like, what? I need to pay for what? What ads? No. And so you get mad when you get less members that you expected because you didn't spend any money. Let me give you an example. I'm finna do our future of launching. Let me see if I have a debrief on that. Debrief. BRIEF. I'm trying to see how much did we spend on that launch. I'll give you an example. So we probably spent anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000 on that launch, on the future of launching launch. And one thing about it is, even though I was primarily marketing to my community, everybody is not opening their emails. everybody is not actively on social media ready for you to go live or to hear about what you got to say. And so you have to be you have to be way more intentional than normal, right? And so I just want y'all to know that when you are putting yourself out there, there's a lot of coaches. Oh, let me drink some water because I'm finna step on some toes and I can feel it in my soul. I'm all for organic. Okay. I'm actually going to be doing a whole video on this. I'm all for organic. I'm all for organic. I am all for organic. But can I tell y'all, when you ready to get paid, when your bills are on the line, when you are out here trying to make ends meet, you don't have time to post 40 times and hope one hit. If you feel me, put me in the chat, because there's a lot of people who advocate. And let me also say this. I'll try to be careful on what I say, because I already know some of y'all gonna be in y'all feelings about what I'm about to say, and I don't really give a damn because I'm telling you the God honest truth. And so if you ain't really ready here for it, then there's that, right? There's a lot of people who teach organic marketing, and 9 times out of 10, those people are really good. Okay, they're really good. I'm talking about those people who advocate for organic marketing. They're like really good. Okay, they're really, really, really good. And so they're like, yeah, it'll be easy for you. Just go out and create some posts, and ta-da, you're gonna get new people just gonna find you and discover you. And a lot of people have different setups on their social media networks. So, for an example, some people have a huge network of business owners. So, of course, when they make a post about business, or make a post about making money, or making a post about how to do something with your business, of course, they shit gonna blow up, right? But on the flip side, let's say you're trying to target moms who are into fitness. If you don't have a huge community of moms, and you make a post about fitness and moms, the likelihood of that hitting is probably 50-50, right? You may have some moms that's on your page who's interested in fitness, but you might also be connected to a bunch of people you went to work with, and you don't even want them to know you even got a business. So I feel like a lot of the times when people give this feedback and these suggestions, oftentimes they're not thinking about the fact that I may or may not be connected to certain people, right? And so you have to keep that in mind when you're getting this advice, because sometimes we get this advice, we take it to heart, we run with it, and we're wondering why it's not working. You have to look at the setup. Of course, it's easy if you got 10,000 people following you, but what about some of you all who got 100 people following you, or 200? Or of the 200, only 10 people in your entire community is interested in what it is that you have to say. This is why you see a lot of people say things like, hey, go join some Facebook groups and start networking in groups, right? That's a cool organic way of doing it. But again, that shit is slow. Hey, post on social media and use certain relevant hashtags and relevant content. You can do it, but that shit's slow. So if you want to know how to speed up the process, you're gonna have to spend the bread. And I know y'all don't want to hear that. I know you don't. I know you want the social media gods to serve up your perfect client right in your news feed. You want them to find you today. You want them to click the link in your bio. You want them to run to your website, and you want them to swipe the credit card. And I'm telling you straight up right now, if you are not hitting the goals and the milestones that you have set up for your business, and you're not reaching the people that you need to reach to see what it is that you have to sell, you will have to spend the bread. If y'all gotta just put bread in the chat, because I understand that there's a lot of people, and this is another thing. Sometimes y'all will follow people who will advocate for the thing that you are most excited about. So for an example, if you're all about organic marketing, you're just going to find everybody who's talking about organic marketing. And so I'm all about speed. How can I get to the money faster? How can I get in front of people faster? If my people ain't opening my emails, if my people ain't Clicking on my shit, cool. Who can I put it in front of who will click? Who can I put it in front of who will watch? Who can I put it in front of that will get with it? So I just want to share that with y'all because I see that some of you all are struggling, and it's all because you won't spend $50 on the ad, or you won't spend $100 on the ad. You won't even attempt to try to get in front of new people. You're not speaking. You're not putting yourself in new spaces. You won't join programs that have communities where you possibly could network and find some clients. It's like you all are just showing up on social media and hoping and praying that people are just ready. So when you don't hit your membership goal, right? I know you're like, what's the point of what you're talking about? When you don't hit your membership goal, it's directly tied to that. It's tied to that. It's tied to that. So anyway, those are the 4 things you need to know before starting a membership site. All right. Now let's talk about the benefits of having a membership site. What are those awesome benefits of having a membership site? Number 1, recurring revenue. Recurring revenue all day. Like recurring revenue. When I say recurring revenue, what does that mean? You make a sale today, and if that member stay, you don't have to worry about the payments clearing and all of the things, right? We're gonna talk about payments on down the road, but that's one thing to think about. I think I skipped over 4 things to know before starting a membership site. Give me one thing. Give me 1 second. So number 1, I want to recap, make sure I didn't skip over these. So number 1, you need to know your key deliverables for membership platform before you start it. Number 2, you must have clear milestones of all your, like what milestones you want your members to hit. They need to be very clear. Number 3 is understanding how to deal with billing on your membership site. I don't think I touched on that. But billing is huge, y'all. It is by far, it will make or break you. That billing is that serious. We're going to talk about that on down the road, but I do want to mention that that's one thing you need to consider is, do you have the mental capacity to deal with billing? Okay. And then the last one is have a systematic way for attracting and retaining clients. That's the 4 things you need to know before starting a membership site. Okay, so the benefits of having a membership site is recurring revenue, right? Having a customer that pay you over and over and over. Now, that customer can go from paying you over and over and over to not paying you anymore if they're no longer getting value from you. I just want to point that out because how many times have you all like canceled something? Just put me in the chat. You wasn't getting any value from it anymore, and you said, I don't need this anymore, and you hit cancel, right? Or you submitted, you canceled. Not because you don't like the person or the thing anymore, but it just, maybe it was a bad time in your life. Maybe it's not a good fit for you right now. It could be a slew of reasons, all right? I'm not going to get into the logistics on why people cancel, but you do need to have a system for dealing with that, right? And so recurring revenue is good until people are just don't see the value anymore. All right. The next thing, it's the best way to nurture raving fans. If you have people who absolutely love you, your brand, and what you stand for, they will stay in your communities, right? The people who dabbling, they don't really know if they like you yet. They don't really know if you that person for them. They will try you out and then they will leave. Don't take offense to that. Okay. I'm going to talk about that on down the road in a minute too. And then the next thing is, it's a great way to keep your finger on the pulse on what's going on with your community. Okay. So what does that mean? The when I'm connected to my clients inside the lunch circle and inside of our mastermind, because those are the only 2 things that have recurring revenue in our business. When I'm connected to my clients, I'm able to see in real time what are those challenges they're dealing with, what are those things that they need help with, what are those things they need support with. Those are the things that I began to see like, oh, that's something that's coming up quite frequently. Let's address that. Or, hey, you know what? I didn't know that they were dealing with that. So when your community share what's going on in real time, it keeps you fresh as the expert and the person who created the community. So it's one of those ways where you can keep your hand on the pulse from paying clients. Let me put a little disclaimer in it. The beauty in having a membership site is having your finger on the pulse from paying clients. Knowing what paying people are dealing with is 1,000 times better than knowing what somebody who ain't paid you a dime dealing with. Just being 100 with you. So just keep that in mind. All right. The next thing, we're going to go over lessons I learned from running 3 membership sites. I've had 3 membership sites at all different price points. Okay. My first membership site was at, I think we started that membership site at like 97, 147. And then we ultimately got up to like $200, 197, $200, 250, somewhere in there. The Launch Circle, at the time of this recording, we were at different price points, right? The new price point for the Launch Circle is $497 a month. We have not shared that with anyone. We have not told anyone publicly yet. Like, we don't have the landing page up for it yet. We haven't done any marketing around the new price. But just know the new price for the Launch Circle is $497. If you are a current member, don't worry about what I just said. Okay? If you someone who's considering joining, that's the new price. Okay? And so when you're thinking about your membership site, you can have your membership site at different price points. The cheapest membership site that I've ever had is $50 a month. Okay? $50 a month. And I will tell you that even though I had a lot of members, we had 500 and some members in the $50 a month thing, I love having high ticket because, and this is not even high ticket. This is kind of like high ticket for membership. Do everybody got it? Just put got it in the chat. Okay? I just want to point that out because in the membership world, everybody think they thing got to be $20 and $29 and $27 a month and $47 a month and 90. It's like, y'all, if you're trying to mass market your thing, absolutely be in that price point. I don't want everybody and their cousin in my thing. I'm actually pricing let me just say this because I want to spend some time on this. Price at a rate that you feel confident showing up for. Let me say that again. Price at a rate that you feel comfortable showing up for. If you price your stuff at $10 a month, you're going to be mad as hell when you get 10 members and you got to show up for $100 every month. I know for some of y'all, maybe $100 is life changing. But for me, it's a hell no, dog. So just keep in mind that whatever you price your thing at, it needs to be something that you feel confident in. One, adminning, because it's a lot of admin and membership sites. Two, it needs to be something that you cool with having an entire billing ecosystem around. And number three, it needs to be something that makes you proud. When you show up to serve, you happy. You're not disgusted and busted because people are paying you below what you desire to charge. So just know that whatever you charge, you need to be confident showing up for that. And let me also say this, and this is something, I was just talking to my husband about this at breakfast this morning. One of the things you have to understand that what you charge is not a reflection of your value. And that was so hard for me because I was just like, what if I charge less than this amount, then they're not going to value me and it's going to throw my positioning off and blah, blah, blah. And I was making it all about me. Sometimes your price got to be about the market. A good example of that is now. There's a lot of people who are slashing price, going out of business, doing bankruptcy. There's a lot of big companies who are firing and things like that. Like, times are hard. And so if your rates need to reflect the market, just make sure you detach it from your own personal value. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because we have some ideas for some offerings that we want to do that's about, $50 a month or like a little bit cheaper, or we might want to go in the $97 a month range. And I'm having to tell myself that, like, whatever you charge is not a ding at you or your positioning in the marketplace. And so I just want to share that with you in case you're thinking like, well, I want you to, one, not stay stuck in this mindset that like, I got to help everybody, because you got some people who will complain even if it's $1. Oh my God, it's $1. Why is it $1? Why it can't be free? You'll be surprised what people complain about. So just keep in mind that whatever you charge, it need to be a rate you feel comfortable showing up for. Okay, I know that's a lot. We 30 minutes in. We got a little bit more to go. All right. So now we're about to jump into lessons I've learned from running 3 six-figure membership sites. Let me also say this. If you have a question, put it in the comments. Okay. If you have a question, put it in the comments now. So by the time we get to Q&A, I can answer. Because I don't want to, I don't want to stick around at the end of the live and I'm like, hey, you got any questions? Got any questions? Got any questions? If you know you have a question, go ahead and start putting them in the comments. If I don't see any questions by the time I conclude, I'm going to end the live. Okay? Because I don't want the person who's watching on the replay, I don't want them, lingering on forever when there aren't any questions. So if you have any questions and you're live right now watching this video, now is a good time to start putting your questions in the comments. And let me also say this. Do not send me a DM with your questions after the live stream. Okay? So if you have a question, make sure you ask while we're live. All right? Cool beans. So the next thing. So we're going to go over the lessons I learned from running 3 six-figure membership sites. Number 1, be clear on why you're creating the membership site. I'm not talking about like a generic why. It need to be a very clear, definite why. For me, I want to see small business owners, I want to see small business owners market in a way where they can attract clients on demand. And the only thing that I've been able to do in my business where I'm able to predictably count on getting clients is launching. When I post content, I don't know if I'm going to get a client. It's hit or miss sometimes. If I go live, live streaming is actually one of those things where you can get clients in real time. Like right now, if I had something to sell y'all or offer y'all, I could tell you about it and boom, some of y'all may go sign up. But for the most part, I knew for a fact when I started the Launch Circle that if people master this skill, they can predictably make money. Now, I'm not saying half-ass learn it, because there are some people who are learning it, but they're not mastering it. And when we talk about mastering a skill, that means repetition. You don't become a master by just doing it 1 time or 2 times or 3 times. You become a master by doing it over and over and over and over and over. So for me getting clear and crystal clear on why I'm creating the membership site gave me a why behind the membership site. The next thing, right? Know what type of member would be perfect for your membership site. Okay? Know what type of member would be perfect for your membership site. So for me, who is ideal for my membership site? Is any solopreneur who is responsible for marketing and promoting their business. That's number 1. Number 2, the second type of person that would be ideal is a social media manager, right? Someone who is a social media manager for another company. Another person who would be great for this is a marketing manager, project managers, any type of creative people who are responsible for creating assets for launches and things like that. I already had a list of people that I knew the Launch Circle would be perfect for. So just keep that in mind. All right. So what type of member would be perfect? So that's the lesson I learned. It's like getting clear on that. The next thing, have one level when starting off your membership. What are you talking about, Audria? Have you all ever went to a membership site and it was like, do you want, have you ever did like have you ever went to a membership site and it was like, you want option A for like $47 a month, $97 a month, $147 a month, and like they got all of these different levels? I did that with my first membership. It's a hell no. No, 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 no. If you want to keep your billing simple, if you want to keep it simple for yourself, please, for all things holy, have one price point for your membership site. And then over time, if you decide it makes sense to have 2 levels, so on and so forth, then do that. But for the most part, do not have more than 1 level starting out, especially if it's your first membership site. Now, annual and monthly are not 2 options. Even though there are 2 payment options, it's still 1 option. You have the option to pay in full for the year in advance, or you can pay month to month. What I'm saying is having like a level 1, a level 2, a level 3, and then having different price points for each level. If everybody got that, put a 1 in the chat. Okay? Cool beans. All right? Now, we went over that. That was the third one. The next one is you can always start your membership price point low and then go high, right? You can always start your membership price point low, then go high. I see a lot of people wanting to start high and then realize that nobody finna pay them that and then try to go low. No, it's easier to go low as you can go first, then go up. Let me give an example of how we've done this. So 97 to 147, 147 to 197, 197 to 247, 247 to 497. So, and another thing, as your membership get more value, more members, more wins, more assets, then you could definitely kind of revisit the price point. But I highly recommend you start with low to high, right? Low to high is easier that way versus trying to start high and then go low. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. All right, the next one. Always do a founding member launch when you launch a new membership site. This is Stu McLaren has an amazing membership platform where he teach membership sites. I personally have learned from Stu a lot of the things that we learned through our membership sites from having them multiple times, multiple years, so on and so forth, right? I've always had some type of recurring revenue thing. One of the things he teach is called a founding member launch. So if you ever hear anybody talking about this, they got it from Stu, okay? Stu McLaren. And so one thing, he over the membership experience. That's his platform, right? Teaching people how to become membership site owners, right? So if you want a more in-depth thing, y'all can go and check him out, right? But he always talks about the founding member lunch, and essentially a founding member lunch is the way he teaches. I don't necessarily do it that way. Let me give you both ways. So the way he teaches it is you let people know that something is coming. You get to tell them like what it's going to cost, and if they sign up, they can join, right? That's the way he teaches. I don't necessarily teach it that way. I try to have 80% of my membership done as far as like the first month or so, like the first month or two. And then I like to kind of roll out my founder member lunch. It's still the same concept. The main concept is, hey, if you lock in now, if you join now, you get to lock in the lowest rate it will ever be, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you need to tell the truth because there are some people who like, oh, I'm going to tell people it's my founder member lunch. And then when they do it again, the price didn't change, which is messed up because the people who already joined are like, well, that was the reason I joined because you said the price was going up and the price never went up, so on and so forth. So be in integrity with the price point when you're doing your founding member lunch. But the whole point of it, the whole point of this type of lunch is that you're getting people to join in. Okay, you're getting people to join in to become a member before it gets bigger, before it takes on its own thing, right? So we couldn't do a founder member lunch because our membership is coming up on 2 years old. So because our membership is almost 2 years old, us saying, oh, here's a founder member lunch, that would totally be out of integrity, right? So just keep in mind that your founding member lunch gives your people an opportunity to get in on your membership site at the ground level. All right. Okay, so there's that. This is another one. Don't overwhelm your memberships. Don't overwhelm your members with miscellaneous benefits and features. So on one of our membership sites, we had like a ton of stuff. I'm talking about we was throwing in directory listings. We had like an affiliate program, and affiliate program is not bad. That actually was a good thing. But we just was giving out a whole bunch of stuff. And I have just learned that less is better. People can say they want more all day long, but that would be the reason they cancel. I can't begin to tell you how many times when we would give so much to people. I'm talking about we would give so much. People are like, I'm overwhelmed, I gotta go. I gotta leave, it's too much. So don't overwhelm people. Give people just enough of what they need and keep it moving. All right? So don't overwhelm your members with miscellaneous benefits and features that they don't care about, especially stuff they didn't even ask you for. Okay. The next one. Do not offer one-on-one for memberships. Now, I know I'm probably going to get some slack behind this, which is cool. But if you're offering one-on-one calls for a membership, especially if it's less than $200, what are we doing? And I'm also not saying that if it was over $200 that you should be offering one-on-ones. What I'm saying is one-on-one, when you start adding one-on-ones and all of that, that's a group coaching program. That's a mastermind. That's a more immersive type of program. Membership sites are meant to be easy. People can come and go as they need. They get their community component and be on with their life. Like when you start adding high level masterminding type of things to your membership site, you're doing too much. Now, I'm not saying that you can't offer one-on-one for people to pay for. We have that as an option. So there are some people in our community who have purchased one-on-ones from us, even though they're still members inside the membership site. They're like, hey, I love the membership stuff, but I want to be able to talk to you one-on-one. So they book one-on-one calls, right? And at some point, if they need to book more than one or two or whatever, they should probably just join the mastermind, right? So there's that. So no one-on-ones with your membership, but you can offer an option to purchase. All right. If this is good, put a number 2 in the chat. I want to make sure y'all are following along and taking notes. If you are enjoying the live stream and you're new here, you just joined, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video. It will go far, far, far with my heart. So thank you in advance. All right. Okay, cool. So we just talked about that. I'm almost done, and I'm about to get to questions. So if you have any questions, now is a good time to put it in the comment section. All right. The next one is define your failed payment process. This is hard. This is so hard. Oh my God, this is hard. If you don't have a billing department, okay, and let me also say this, you got one even if you haven't defined it. So you have a billing department even if you have not defined your billing department. What is billing? Your billing department is if someone has a failed payment, how will your company handle failed payments? Now, I'm going to give you a scenario on how we handle failed payments in an effort to kind of help you understand this. And oftentimes, whenever I see people teaching and talking about membership sites, they never talk about billing. It just blows my mind. But nevertheless, nevertheless, when we start talking about billing, this is how we handle failed payments. So someone signs up for our membership, right? They pay all of the good things, right? And then let's say that their payment failed, right? For whatever reason. Kartra, this is the tool we use. Kartra will notify them and say, hey, you got a failed payment. Let's say they don't respond. Kartra will wait a few days and then reattempt. Kartra will wait again a few more days and then reattempt. I believe Kartra sends 3 or 4 notifications before it auto cancels. So that's one scenario. Another scenario is someone has a failed payment and then they proactively reach out and say, hey, I have a failed payment. Can I update? Right? Can I get a form to update? We also have a section inside of our portals that show people how to update their credit card on file so they don't have to submit a support ticket and they don't have to email us. Whenever someone sends in a support ticket or an email letting us know they need to update their credit card, we send out a canned email that basically say, hey, thank you so much for reaching out to update your credit card. Please visit this link. When you get to this link, do this, this, and this. And then you should be able to successfully update your credit card. Thanks, us, team member, right? So just keep in mind that that's how we handle failed payments, all right? So just keep in mind that you need to define a failed process. What happens when you get failed payments? How do you go about updating failed payments? And how do you go about removing people due to failed payments? So there's 2 types of ways that people exit our program: automatically or voluntarily. Let me explain. All right. So number 1, the first way, when I say automatically, some people just let their payments lapse. So what that means is that They get a failed payment. Kartra notifies them. They don't update the credit card. Kartra sends a second notification. Kartra sends a third notification. And it sends out these notifications. And then eventually, Kartra will not reattempt and auto cancel that account. When that happens, we go in and remove that member from the Facebook group. We have a automation that we put on a team member. When we put on a client, and when we put that automation on the client, it automatically revokes them from anything that they have with our company. So it revokes them from the lunch circle. It revokes them from any bonuses that we ever gave them. It revokes them from pretty much everything, right? It happens automatically. And then the final part of that automation, it puts a tag on them to let them know that they've been removed, right? That client gets a notification. Hey, your thing has been successfully canceled. That's for our auto cancel. For our voluntarily canceled people, meaning they raise their hand to cancel, they will go to inside the portal and fill out a form. They will put in their request to cancel. They will rate the membership on a 5-star rating system. They will tell us what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it, why they're leaving, and any comments, right? This is probably the part I don't like about our membership site because they don't know this. I be seeing all of them. But nevertheless, and people say some mean stuff on their way out. But nevertheless, we have them fill out a form, and then we go through the same process, right? We put in their notification that they want to cancel. We put the tag, the automation do what it do, and then when they're done, they auto cancel out. Because like in Kartra, you can say make their last payment this day, right? And whatever day it is. Normally when we set it in, Kartra has it very easy for us. We just put in cancel this on the next rebilling date. And so when that rebilling date come around, it auto cancels them out. And then we put the tag on them, and then it does what it do. And then we remove them. So there's 2 ways that they leave. I know this is like super freaking detailed, but I'm just giving you context that if you're going to get into membership business, these are the things you need to know. Okay. All right. So basically have a failed payment process. Okay. The next one. Ooh. Expect churn. Okay, what is churn? Churn is how many members you have this month versus how many people left and then what you got afterwards, right? So churn is when people are leaving your membership site and your membership is not growing at the rate at which you are enrolling new members. So I will tell you something that I've heard someone say, and I will tell you that that's not necessarily true. So I've heard people say things like, if people leave after 3 months or after a month or whatever, that means your membership is trash. And to be honest with you, I think that data is wrong. I think that data is wrong. And the reason I say I think that data is wrong is because I've seen people try things out and know they're going to cancel. You got some people who join because they want the free trial. They have no intentions of staying. They probably cancel as soon as they sign up. And then I also have noticed that sometimes people come in and this is what they do. They come in, they download stuff, and they jet out. Like that's what some people do too. So you have to keep in mind that like churn is a thing. Don't let your churn in your membership site define it for you. And just if you want a little bit more about churn and how it works, just Google churn. That's CHURN. There's a lot of information on it, but churn is a real thing. Okay. All right. So there's that. Okay. 2 more things, and then we're going to get into questions. The next thing, when people leave, cancel, or leave negative reviews, do not take it personal. Let me say that again. When someone chooses to leave your membership site for whatever reason, and they cancel, and or they leave a negative review, do not take it personal. I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to you. This is something that I still kind of struggle with. Not as much. I'm starting to be a little bit more robotic about it. But it is something that you want to think about. Because it's like it's like you put all your time and energy into something, and then when people cancel and they give you their reason for canceling, you be like, what? So, but people have a right to cancel. People have a right to leave. And so you're going to have to learn how to deal with your emotions around it and not take it personal. All right. Cool beans. So that's that one. And then the next one, or the last one, is have a way to attract new members on demand. We talked about that in the 4 things to know before starting a membership site, but there's 4 ways you can attract new members. Number 1 is launches. Number 2 is evergreen funnels and master classes. And number 3 is membership tours. Okay? Is membership tours. So hopefully that answered your question. I mean, that gave y'all some insight on memberships, right? So lessons I learned from running 3 6-figure membership sites. I'm not going to go over the list again. It's too long. Y'all got to watch the replay. But 3 ways to attract new members on demand: launches, evergreen funnels and master classes, and membership tours. Okay. So if this was helpful, just put helpful in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful. If so, put helpful in the comments. All right. Now we're about to get into the questions in the comments. So give me 1 second, y'all. Can you text me? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay. So that was a lot. I already know. When I wrote this down, I was like, ooh, that's a lot. But y'all asked me. And so when y'all ask me good questions and you let me know about stuff y'all want to learn, it's easy for me to help you. Okay? Okay, so let's get into the questions. Um what are the things or books that helped you with the mindset to do what you need to? Things that scare you will be need that move the needle. What are the things or books that helped you? Ooh, that's a good question. There's actually there's actually a lot of things. The first thing is reading positive books. That's number 1. Reading positive books. Number 2, being around positive people, disconnecting from negative people, family included. Um, it's so hard. It's like this has been a practice for mine since 2013 to now. And so to me, it's very routine now. Like every day I get up and I watch something positive, I read something positive. I'm always learning every single day. And so for me, I don't have too many fears that I need to get over like I did when I first got started. But when I first got started, my thought process was, girl, you can't afford to be scared. I know that sound lame. I know it sound lame. But I'm being honest. So when I see people be like, I'm scared to go live, I'm scared to be this, I'm like, man, I was too damn broke to experience any level of fear. Right? So I didn't have the liberty of I didn't have the liberty of picking and choosing, you know, I didn't have time to sit in my fear. I didn't have time to I didn't have time to acknowledge it and live in it. It's like your rent due on this day, you better hit that damn button. Like I didn't have too many options. And I actually talked about this on one of my live streams. I feel like there's a lot of people who are too comfortable. And when you're too comfortable, you let things get in the way. So I'm not saying you're letting things get in the way, but sometimes y'all, you just gonna have to say fuck it and do it. Like I know that ain't super motivational and super inspirational, but sometimes you just gonna have to do it. You just gonna have to do it. Like ain't no way to do it but to do it. So I don't know if that was helpful, but hopefully that answered your question. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. So let's see. Yeah, just I'm just saying, like sometimes you ain't got time. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so sometimes you just ain't got time to just be focused on that, right? Okay, so let me answer. Let me see if we got any other questions. I'm going down the list. So if you wrote a question, I got you. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, baby. I want to master lunching. How did you decide what the topic to focus on in your membership? I am currently thinking about doing a membership about either self-care for moms of autistic children or teaching moms how to improve. The way that I decided on our membership site, I want to be known for launching. I want to be known for marketing. So it makes sense for me to have a membership about that. So it really just depends on your product suite and how do you want to be perceived in the marketplace. So I would most likely recommend that you do a membership around something, one, you want to be known for, two, you can, properly market, and three, something you can stay committed to. Okay. Cool beans. All right. So the next question is, the academic skills of autistic children, they are related. So I think that you can do. So how about this? What if you created a like a membership site for autistic moms, and then you cover various topics that autistic moms deal with? So maybe education track for moms. Maybe you have a lifestyle track for moms. Does that make sense? Like the whole community is about bringing autistic moms together, but when you bring them together, you're covering like maybe some pillars of things that they deal with. So maybe it's like health, wealth, and whatever the other one is, y'all. I can't think of it. I think it was health, wealth, and y'all. What is it called, y'all? The three markets, whatever. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I think my husband got the heat on. It is hot as hell in this room. Um, Come and open this door, cause it is hot in here. Give me 1 second, y'all. Thank you. Health, wealth, and love. So you might not want to talk about relationships. You can. You might want to talk about more so the relationship with their child, or their spouse. Let me say this. This is totally up to y'all. Like for real. When you creating your thing, can't nobody tell you how to do your thing but you. So don't let anybody tell you what you have to put in there and what you have to do. Like what's the dream membership site that you would create if you didn't give a damn what the market said you have to do? Create that. And I think that um that's going to be the thing that brings you joy when you focus on that more than you focused on, you know, should I give them this or that or this or that or this or that? And right now you're kind of guessing. You have no idea what the hell to give them because you're not serving them like that yet. Once you get them in your community, it's going to be very clear what they need, because they're going to be coming to the calls and asking questions and coming. And this is another thing. Do you have a community with these moms? Go into some of these autistic moms Facebook groups and you will see a lot of what's going on. Go and find YouTube videos of autistic people, autistic moms or parents or leaders who are already having this conversation. And you will be able to see the topics and what's being said. And you will also be able to identify the gaps. Hey, I went and researched top 10 autistic mom gurus, and I found out that they don't cover any of these topics. We need to talk about this. These topics are the private conversations we have, but we really need to have it publicly. So hopefully that answered your question. All right. Okay. Let's see. Answer that question. Okay, the next question is, are there any platforms that you would recommend to house your membership platform on? We personally use Kartra, but you can do it on ClickFunnels. I think Go High Level has it now. There's so many tools. I think it's about picking the membership platform that makes sense for your membership site. I know Searchy is an option now. Uh, so you have a lot of membership platforms. You literally can type in membership platforms and a whole slew of them will come up. The one that we use and been using for a long time is called Kartra. Kartra. Okay. All right. Let's see what the next question is. Um, would you suggest using Facebook group for a paid membership or a community group? I have Go High Level. Um, we personally have our community inside of Facebook. But let's say that if I did not have Facebook, I would highly consider a platform like Circle, because I'm on a few membership sites within Circle. A lot of the times when we try to use community platforms that go with our um, platform, like for instance, if I tried to put our community inside of Kartra, it would be trash. So when I think about a community that I want to put my community in, I'm always thinking about ease of use, ease of access. Is there a natural way for people to connect with each other and network with each other? So those are some of the things that I like to think about as well. Another thing I think about when it comes to community is habits. Like, will my client develop a habit of using this? So, for instance, we recently moved our mastermind clients from a tool called Voxer to Slack. And we use Slack because Slack will transcribe all of the like audio and like all of those cool things. So I'm just like, okay, let's be on Slack because it's easy. And on Voxer, if you join the channel, well, if you join the group late, you don't get to see all the posts beforehand. But in Slack, if you become a new person that joined Slack today, you can go back and look at all the posts I ever said on Slack. So it just depends on one, ease of use, how tech savvy your community is, and it also depends on like who's going to manage the community. So hopefully they answered your question. All right. I have a question for the ULC. Can I send it privately or do I have to post it on the page? I don't want anyone to judge me. You can post your question inside of our Facebook group, or you can bring it to the Q&A call. Our next Q&A call for the Launch Circle is on June 4th. So on June 4th is our next Q&A call. Okay. Okay. Let's see. How much should someone expect to spend on ads if they're new to launching? I would probably try to have I'm gonna go off what I teach. 10% of your goal. 10% of whatever your marketing goal is. So if you have, let's use a percentage calculator, right? So let's say you have a goal of making $20,000, right? And then that'll be 20% of $20,000. That's is that 20? Okay, cool. That's $2,000, right? Or if you say I want to make $100,000, great. That's $10,000. Another thing that factors into this too is the price of your offer, right? So I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of advertising and like how much you should spend on ads. There's a guy that we recommend inside of our YouTube channel. I mean, inside of our UnCloned Launch Circle community. I always talk about this guy. If you type in Facebook ads, you can find a lot of videos on him. But a hardcore rule that we go by is 10% or whatever your launch goal is. You can go bigger than that if you can allow it. But if you just getting started, 10% of whatever your goal is. Okay, so let's see. I answered that question. Okay, next question. Okay, so you said to get very focused on the outcome of your membership, i.e., launching. What's the best way to decide on the topic you should focus on for your membership? It has to. That's a great question. Um, I would focus on the topic that got some legs. Does that make sense? Like, I would try to pick a topic where we could talk about it a long, long, long time. And so for me, launching, we could talk about lunch to the break of dawn. Like, we'll be talking about launching for the next decade, 2 decades. Like, launching is a thing. So I would try to stay away from membership sites where there's no need for a continuous update. It's kind of like, let's use I'm trying to think of two different topics. Um I'm trying to think of something that always need to update and things that don't need to be updated. So let me give you an example. So let's say if I was a wedding dress consultant. I don't know. Let's say if I had a membership site on like preparing for your wedding, which would be dope as hell if anybody don't have that. But let's say I created a membership site for brides who are preparing for their wedding, and they want a community of other brides that are about to get married at the same time, and they're in there asking for advice on their wedding dress. They're in there asking for advice on party favors, picking out event planners, venues, honeymoons, all of the things, right? And they're inside this community. When the wedding is over, the wedding is over. Ain't shit else to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you can have an after the wedding membership, which would target a different type of person. So like now you can move them into like how to be a wife type of community and those type of things. But like, you have to think about what is that thing, what's that ongoing, what's that thing that always need to be updated. That those things make for great membership sites. If it's something that's kind of like a one and done, those type of things make great for a course. And keep in mind, if you do want to do a membership site and it does have an end date, you can have memberships that are timed, meaning this membership is designed for people to stay in for 24 months, and then after that they go, right? So you can have something like that where you drip out certain type of content, and then after that is no more, and then they can decide to stay for a community aspect or for events or benefits or a perk or something like that. But for the most part, I would try to pick a membership site that got some legs, and two, people want it, and three, you can find yourself constantly having a need to update it, right? So hopefully that helps. And even though our membership is on launching, we only teach 16 launch styles. I'm not adding any more launch styles. We're going to go in and continue to enhance what we already have, but I've already made a hard stop to not teach more than those 16s. So, and you got some members who've been in our community who are like, they're coming in, and even though we got 16, they're wanting to master webinars, and then they might try a challenge out, or then they might do a virtual event, or then they may do an offline event. So it just varies. But because of the nature of our membership, you will naturally be there for a while because you're learning and trial through error and so on and so forth. So hopefully they answered your question. All right. Okay. Do we have any more questions? I think that was the last question. Let's see. Okay, cool. It don't look like we have any more questions. Was this helpful? I know this was a lot. We kind of started off a little wonky because of my tech, but hey, here we are. Was that helpful? If that was helpful, just put yes in the chat. I pray that you all got what you needed from that. I do see that we got one more question. So let's see. I currently have a massage. I said a message membership. Disregard, abort. Okay. So anyway, I currently have a massage membership that allows members to access the virtual wellness studio that has yoga flows and other videos. Do you have suggestions for other type of memberships for your existing audience, or are you saying like in general? So if you're talking about for your spa people, the best thing to do is to ask them or put something in there they need. So hopefully that answers your question. Um, do you have any suggestions for offer type of memberships? Can you specify? Can you ask the question a different way? Maybe I'm not getting it, but it sounds like you're already giving them something. It seems like you're teaching them yoga. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, and I know there's a delay because y'all respond to stuff, and then I hear y'all respond to it later. So let me see. We got another question. What do you recommend for upcoming artists to promote their new music? For membership, you can create a membership site for all your new music. So, for instance, you can create a membership where it's like, I don't know, music is a little bit different because you would have to give them something more than just the music. So, like, will they be able to see behind the scenes content of you putting a song together? Would they be able to see you go and meet up with other different celebrities or other different people and you're having a different conversation? Would they be able to be the first listen before a song gets officially published? Like, it need to be some benefits and perks that I don't get by just being a fan of your music, right? Like, will I be able to be the first one to know about tour passes or tour tickets? Would I be able to shop merch first? There's a lot of ways you could think about that. But I would truly think about, like, what can I give my people that I won't necessarily, that I can exclusively have for these people. So hopefully they answer your question. I don't see the other question. So Jovi B, you can always come back and leave a comment on the actual YouTube video and I'll get back to you. But hopefully you all enjoyed this YouTube video or this video wherever you may be watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you haven't already got the UnCloned book bundle, you can go to audriarichmond.shop and grab our book bundle. If you haven't read any of our books, that's a great first place to start. I just want to thank you all so much for tuning into this video. We got some upcoming launches coming up, so make sure you are on our email list by visiting unclonedinsiders.com. If you're not on our email list, we send out an audio newsletter every single Monday. So if you enjoy these videos, you will definitely enjoy our audio newsletter. So until next time, y'all, let's go live an uncloned life and build an uncloned brand. Bye, y'all.